Hello, I'm Paul Eagle. I'm back with quick fix number 2 for stress, anxiety, depression and grief. Just like the previous video, this isn't intended to cure all the problems or all the causes of whatever your situation is. It simply allows you to use a technique where you can move from an unresourceful state where you might be overwhelmed, crying, grief-ridden, confused, into a resourceful state where you can make calmer, more rational decisions, be wiser, and have a greater sense of peace about where you are, what's happening, and where you're going to go from there. I'll do the housekeeping. I'm not a doctor, I'm a therapist. I practice from the Harmony Centre in Halesworth in Suffolk. If you have any concerns about whether these techniques are right for you, take professional advice from your GP or another medical professional. Please don't use these videos if you're driving or using machinery, or if you're in a position where you need to be responsible for other people, such as children or vulnerable adults. You need to allow time to watch this video, to really focus on it. And if you can't do that right now, make a note of how long the video is, save the link and come back to it later when you've got time to really give it your full attention. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show you this technique now, which is a powerful technique. I learned it about 10 years ago now in one of my training sessions, which was really interesting. And it's simply a way where you can use your eyes to focus on something and find yourself experiencing a different physical reality. Okay, it also calms your mind, because when your body is relaxed, it's much easier to calm the mind. So I'm going to put my hands up like this, as I do in my videos, so you know when you're looking back at this video again, this is where the technique starts. Okay, so first thing I'd like you to do is get yourself in a comfortable position. And for this exercise, standing up with your feet about a foot apart is fine, shoulders down, head in a relaxed, comfortable position. Or sitting down on a straight back chair. Make sure you're comfortable again, feet on the floor, hands just loosely in your lap. Don't cross your arms or cross your legs. Just feet on the floor, hands in your lap, and your back as straight as is comfortable. The first thing to do is take 5 big deep breaths, and that's breathing in right from your diaphragm, so right from the bottom of your lungs. Imagine your lungs filling right up, right to the top. Your shoulders stay down, your tummy comes out first, and then your chest. And when you breathe out, breathe all the way out until there's nothing left in your lungs at all. Now, a lot of people like to do this by breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. But however you like to do it is right for you, it's fine for you. So here we go. After your 5 breaths, allow your breathing to settle into a relaxed, calm breathing rate. And this is one of the reasons why it's very good to practice these techniques before you need them, before you're in an anxiety-ridden state. When you're feeling okay, practice these techniques so you will reduce the overall chance of experiencing anxiety or the depth of depression. And you'll also be ready when you do need them to put them into action straight away. So I suggest you watch and work through the video 3 or 4 times and then go your own way, do your own take. So I'd like you, with your head comfortably level on your shoulders, to notice where your eye level is. And this is, if you look straight forward, where are your eyes going? That's the line of your eyes. Okay? And I'd like to keep your head still and then look up for a point that's above your eye line. So if this is where your eyes look forwards, I want you to keep your head still, but look for something that's up here or up here. Now, if you're indoors, you might find a picture on the wall, or even a spot where the paint is missing, or possibly where the wall meets the ceiling is always a good one. If you're outside, you might look at a tree in the distance or a wall. Whatever you can see is fine. Obviously, if you're outside, don't use a cloud, because we're going to have to come back to this point, and clouds tend to move. So whatever you choose, pick a point that you can find again and again and again, a fixed point you can recognise, not something that's just a point that's going to move or change or is the same as everything around it. The ideal thing is like a picture rail or a nail in the wall or something like that, where you can look at that, it's above your eye line, and you look at that thing. And I want you to stare at that thing really intently now. Stay relaxed, let your body be as relaxed as possible. But I want you to look at that thing that's above your eye line. And if you're wondering why it's above your eye line, you can look up eye accessing cues on NLP on the internet. There's lots about that, why we're looking up rather than just looking straight. As you look at that space, what I need you to do is look at that space, look at that point on the wall, continue to breathe normally, and just look at it, just accept it, just let your eyes rest on that point in the wall and nothing else. That's your complete focus. Now once you've done that, and then you've got yourself really settled and that's what you're looking at, don't move your head and don't move your eyes, but notice with your peripheral vision what is above the point on the wall. I'll say that again because it's not always too obvious. Keep your head still, keep your eyes still looking at that point, but notice, just allow your awareness to expand to notice on the wall what's above it. And if your eyes flick up, just bring them back down to the point you're looking at. You want to be looking at that point on the wall and then be aware of the thing that's above it, the space that's above it. Whatever that might be. You might notice something else, some more chip paint or another picture, or the ceiling touches the wall. It might be anything like that. And then bring your focus right back down to that first fixed point. And then looking at that fixed point still, allow your awareness to notice on the periphery what's on the right hand side of that wall. The right hand side of that point that you've been focusing on. What is on the right? Keep your head still, keep your eyes still, but allow your peripheral vision to take in and be aware of what's on the right hand side of that point. And just notice that your breathing can stay relaxed and calm, and you can stay relaxed and calm. And bring your focus back to that central point again. And this time, stay looking at that point, stay looking at that point, and allow your peripheral vision to take in what's on the left side of that fixed point. And this does get easier, so each time you practice this technique, which you'll need to do, it gets easier and easier. Bring your attention right back to the fixed point again, and keeping your head still, your eyes still, allow your peripheral vision to notice what's beneath that fixed point. Now, for some reason, this technique, if you follow the directions, will now give you a deeper sense of physical calmness. Just notice how your body feels now as how it was a few moments ago. And notice how your mind feels now. And it's a good thing to do to calibrate this. So I'd like you to imagine that, let's say it's anxiety, and your highest state of anxiety is something that's really horrible. I'd like you to place that in a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is the worst anxiety or worst thing you can imagine in your life, in the world. The worst thing anyone has ever gone through in the world is number 10. So that might include torture, starvation, having limbs lost, health issues, loss of loved ones. Absolutely the worst thing, number 10. I'd like you to imagine on this scale of 10, 0 is just a feeling that you can cope pretty much with whatever life throws at you day to day. It's not all wine and roses, it's not the perfect life, it's just, okay, I'm coping with this, I know there'll be problems in life, I know there'll be challenges, I can manage that today. And that's 0. I'd like you to place, each time you use this technique or any time you experience your anxiety or stress or distress, where is that? Where is that on that scale? Is it actually 10? If it's actually 10, you probably need more than this video. But if it's a 7 or a 6 or a 5, we can expect just through this technique alone to lower that down to a 5 or a 4 or a 3 or a 2 or a 1. So always remember to calibrate where you are when you start, if you need this to calm you down, and where you are when you finish. Now while you're in this relaxed state and this centered state, I'd like you to close your eyes if you like. You won't miss anything on the video. Close your eyes if you like and just listen to my voice. And I'd like you to think about time. Because right now you're centered in this moment. When you're hearing this and doing this, you're centered in this moment. And you may have heard people say, there is only now. There is only now. And what they mean by that is that whatever is in the past has gone. We can change the way we think about it or relate to it, but we can't change things that have actually happened. And the things that are in the future, which may happen or may not happen, may happen this way, may happen that way, we have no control over right in this moment. We have an influence maybe over several moments, but right now we only exist here in this present moment. Now some people like to imagine a timeline, a line of time with the future stretching out ahead of them and their past on the line behind them. Some people see time going from left is the past, left in my way, and the other side right in the future. However you do it, that's fine, but you need to be in the middle of it, because right now is right here. I'd like you to notice that when you're right here and become aware of what's happening with you right now, how fast or slow or deep or shallow are you breathing? How warm or cold are you? Do you have any tingling or muscle aches on your body? Just notice them. You don't need to judge them or try and get rid of them. Just notice that they're there. Notice what your feet feel like on the ground. Listen. What can you hear? And open your eyes if they were closed and just notice what you can see. You can move your head now, you can look around, you don't have to look at that fixed point anymore. You can look around, just see what you can see right now. And just experience this moment. Now that's pretty much the technique. If you practice it 2 or 3 times a day, it will lower your overall typical level of anxiety or depression or stress. If you find yourself overwhelmed and you know the technique well enough to do it there and then by yourself, you can find your stress level coming down from a 7 or a 6 or a 5 all the way down to a 4 or a 3 or a 2 or a 0. It just puts you back in control. Like all these techniques, it only works if you do it. It's not magic. I'm not zapping you from here. You have to do this, and when you do this and practice it, you'll find you get the results. And when you are slightly calmer and more in control, that's the time to maybe start thinking about how you will go about dealing with the underlying causes of anxiety, stress, grief, or depression. And I'll be covering some of those aspects in other videos after this one, so you can subscribe if you like. Follow me on Facebook, Hypnosis and Healing, or on YouTube, Hypnosis and Healing UK. Thanks. I'll see you next time.